Hi, I'm Kim. There's going to be times in your patchwork and quilting journey where you are going to have to cut angles into your fabric, which means using those angle lines on your quilting rulers. And you may well have wondered, how on earth am I supposed to use them to cut those angles? So I'm going to show you exactly how to use the 45-degree angle, the 60-degree angle line, and the 30-degree angle line in this video. So let me switch cameras and we're going to start with the 45-degree angle. Here we are then. So I've got my big ruler and my little ruler. My rulers come from Creative Grids, but your rulers will have the same angles on them. So get to know where your angles are on your rulers first of all. So on my Creative Grids ruler, you will see that I've got a 45-degree angle along the top here. I also do have one along the bottom. I just find this one is easier to use. Sorry, I just clunked my camera there. So for the purpose of this video, I'm going to use my small ruler. It's just easier to get it all into camera. So I've got my strip of fabric. You need to start with your strip of fabric, however wide that your pattern says it needs to be. This happens to be 5 inches. And I've obviously got some very clean, freshly cut edges. So the first thing I'm going to do is find that 45-degree angle on my ruler, and I'm going to put that along this top cut edge of my strip of fabric here. So can you see here, if I zoom in for you by the wonders of a little bit of technology, you can hopefully see that that 45-degree angle is sitting on that top edge of my strip of fabric. And then all I'm going to do is cut along that line. Be careful that your fingers are out of the way. And you want to be always cutting away from you. So if you're going to find it easier, turn it round slightly. I've still got that 45-degree angle on the edge of my fabric. And I'm going to cut away from me. Let's get all that into camera for you. So line that up, and then I can cut up the side here. Okay, so that's my first 45-degree angle. Then I want to turn my fabric around. So that's my 45-degree edge. There is a cat hair on my cutting mat. Yeah, the cat is not allowed on my cutting mat, but he does get here. So there's my first 45-degree angle. Okay, so I'm going to get my long ruler. And this is where it's a bit easier sometimes to use the 45-degree angle at the bottom of the ruler, so that the ruler is going away from me. I'm going to put that 45-degree angle along that line I have just cut and line that up very neatly along the edge, and I am going to cut up here. And that is how you make your 45-degree angle triangle, which gives you, of course, a right angle triangle. And if I pop that on an edge here, you can see that that's a nice 45-degree angle. So that's the 45 degrees. So in the next video, we're going to go on to, or the next section rather, we're going to go into the 60-degree. So for a 60-degree angle then, and we're going to make a 60-degree triangle, we're going to start in the same way. So I've got my strip of fabric. And just like we start with the 45-degree angle, I want to find my 60-degree line on my ruler. So that's here. You'll see it's 60-degree at one end and 30-degree at the other end. So just like we started with the 45-degree angle, I'm going to start with that 60-degree angle along that top line there. Just straighten that up a little bit. So 60-degree angle along that top edge, and if I'm happy with that, I'm going to cut along there. And then what we have to do is one of two things. We turn that piece of fabric around, so our 60-degree angle is on our left-hand side now. Then I'm going to turn my ruler around. So my 60-degree angle is now on the left-hand side of me. Then I'm going to put my 60-degree angle line on that cut line. Match up this point down here, 60 degree on that cut line, match up the point down at the bottom, and off I go. So now you can see we've got a nice 60 degree angle, and if I measure up on the cutting mat, you can see I've got a 60 degree angle triangle there, which is an equilateral triangle if I remember back from my school days. Okay, so that's your right angle triangle with your 45 degrees and an equilateral triangle with your 60 degrees. And then in the next video, we're going to do a 30 degree angle. So I'll see you there. So in this section, we're going to make a 30 degree cut line to make an isosceles triangle. Go me for remembering my triangles from when I was at school all those years ago. So this time we're going to start cutting from the short edge of our fabric strip here. So I have given this a nice clean cut. Obviously you would do that by lining up your ruler on your cut lines top and bottom to make sure that that is all beautifully straight there, and I would cut off any excess there. Fabric has a habit of fraying when your back is turned, so I want to give myself a clean cut edge. Then I'm going to turn that round because we always keep the fabric that we want to keep underneath our ruler on the left hand side. If you're left-handed and you have a left-handed ruler, then that situation is reversed. So I have that straight edge over on my left. I'm now going to get this 30 degree angle on my ruler here, and I'm going to put that against that short edge of my strip. This is the one that I've just cut. And bring that down. So I've got a nice point at the top here. So 30 degree angle going down there on the point, and if I'm happy with that, I now have an isosceles triangle there. And the cool thing, if you need another one, if I turn that fabric around and carefully, very carefully, cut, so I want to straighten up at the top there and cut from that point down to the side. I know this goes against all the cutting rules. This is not very straight. I am using the lines on my cutting mat just to get it straightened up. If I cut up there, I end up with another isosceles triangle with 30 degrees, and you'll find that it is exactly the same. Cool, eh? So there you go. You've got your 45 degree angles to make your right angle triangle. You've got your 60 degree angles to make your equilateral. And then you've got your 30 degree angle to make your isosceles triangles. There's obviously lots more shapes we can make with angles, but I wanted to keep it to the basics for this particular video. So I hope that's helped. Get practicing. The only way that you really get it into your muscle memory is to start practicing. So get some spare fabric and have a play with those rulers, rewind the video at the certain sections and replay it and get practicing, and let me know how you get on. If this video has helped you, please don't forget to like and subscribe to this video, and do share with your quilting friends, because if I can help other people to learn to do their patchwork and quilting and to bring the joy into their lives, then that fills my heart with joy too. So I'll see you all again in the next video. Bye for now.